Brittany DeBoldley.
Hi team, welcome to the Old Age tutorial. My theme song is brought to you today by the awesome Jermaine Van Buren Jr. And if you want to know more about Jermaine, please check out the description box below. He's awesome, so you want to check him out. Also, because I am going a bit crazy during this quarantine, I have decided to add in my outtakes to the end of this video. If you spent more than 10 seconds with me, you know that I'm a bit goofy and I can't seem to get any words out of my mouth correctly, so I hope that you enjoy my attempts at being professional and failing. Without any further silliness, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this old age tutorial, y'all. All right, everyone. So the first thing that you want to do in any application is prime your canvas. I will be priming my face today with a great and inexpensive product brought to you by e.l.f. It's a basic hydrating primer and I love it. It feels like velvety butter on your skin and it's so good and moisturizing. Plus, this primer serves as a great barrier between your skin and all of these products that you'll be using to enhance your face. Next, I'm applying my foundation, and in my foundation, I'm actually using a liquid foundation by Maybelline, and I'm using just a light layer of this foundation as I'm going to be adding on a lot of product on top of it, but putting on just a single layer of foundation actually aids in the blending process. You also want to make sure that you get this product nice and blended into the skin so that you can start your application with a solid canvas. So now that I've got this foundation on, I'm adding in a Ben Nye cream product. It's a cream foundation that is just a bit warmer for my skin tone, and I like to add it into the skin so that it gives some variation. I typically add it around the eye socket and along where I'll be putting any shadowing. Next with this look, I'm going to actually add in the highlight and shadow, and I'm going to do that with just simply using a brown eyeliner pencil and a white eyeliner pencil. You can also use a cream or a powder to apply your highlight and your shadow. I just personally like working with the eyeliner pencil. It just want to make sure that whatever you're using for your shadow is most definitely a warm tone and that it is correct for your foundation color. And for the shadows, you can see I'm going to make some weird scrunched faces throughout this process to find my wrinkles, and I'm drawing into the shadow with a brown eye pencil, and I'm drawing directly into that wrinkle. It's important that you draw directly into the wrinkle so that when you're moving on stage and talking, your enhanced wrinkles actually match your face. Also, if you do not have wrinkles, really work the facial muscles to find the creases. And if you are, as they say, hashtag blessed, and you don't have wrinkles, well, honey, consider yourself lucky and do some research to draw some stuff on your face. Also, just a few notes about the shadow technique that I'm using here. I am putting the shadow line under the eye and on top of the eye, very closed in. Think early 2000s eyeliner style. This actually makes the eyes appear smaller and takes some of that youthful roundness out of my eyes. Also note that my cheek contour is actually rounded because I want to give the appearance of like a sagging shadow. The same is applicable for that jawline. I gave myself a bit more of a jowl in my jawline, so I'm rounding out those lines as well. Think of it as like three arcs. So two larger ones that reach to the corner of the jaw up to the chin, even with the corner of the lips, and the middle one is just a bit smaller of an arc or a semicircle that rounds out the chin from the corners of the lips. As you can see, I've moved on into some highlight here. You want your highlight to live directly on top of your shadow, with the exception of those laugh lines and the chin, simply because of the way that light hits the face. Another quick sidebar into blending while we're looking at this highlight. I know we've all seen poorly executed old age makeup on stage, right? Like, we've all either seen this, applied this, or some of us have even taught this, and I am not here to judge or throw stones. I just merely want to make the world a more educated place. Like some people have a life mission of like rescuing puppies or saving children, and mine is to simply make fake clothes for fake people and teach as many of y'all to blend as I possibly can before I die. So with that being said, please do not For the love of everything that is good in the world, stop your makeup application with just these lines drawn on your face. You look ridiculous and possibly mentally deranged, but you definitely don't look old. Like, do you see how I'm looking right now? Some people actually just walk out on stage like that and they go, "Look at me, I'm an old lady, but I'm really 17." Ooh, y'all, that is actually enough of me on a soapbox about blending. But while we're on the topic, let's actually look at what it means to blend these lines together. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my favorite brush, aka my finger, and I am simply in a left to right movement blending these lines just so that they're not as stark and prominent on my face. And that's really all it takes. It is legitimately that simple as just blending the lines out so slightly so that they sit inside the wrinkle. But let's take a quick sidebar actually to talk about aging. So what makes you look older? Well, signs of aging include wrinkles, spots or splotches on the skin, loss of elasticity in the skin, and shrinking and or widening of certain features. In order for us to age ourselves via makeup, we really have to focus on all of these signs of aging. So if you're wondering exactly how you will age and you have the privilege of having older family members around, then really examine their signs of age to get a more accurate depiction of your potential aging process. So I know we've talked about blending just a bit, but the rest of this video is me just blending in this makeup. Look at me go. Blending, blending, blending. Oh, even more blending. What's that? I took a bronzer, a different shade of shadow, and I'm filling in more areas to create an even better, more even tone blend. Why, yes, I am. So I am shading in those sunken cheek areas underneath the eyebrow. I'm also going to do around the bottom nostrils as well. And I'm putting even some of that powder on my lips just so that they look nice and cracked and aged and give me some additional wrinkles on my lips. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to merely push that into the skin, not blending it too terribly well, just so that it stands out a bit, and I'm blending in some of that highlight into it as well. So as you can see, I've still got a pretty rounded cheekbone there, and I'm going to start to blend in some more of that as well, blending that sort of in a directional pattern, blending it down, right, so that it lives where it needs to on the canvas. And when I'm blending in this way, if you ever blend away a mark like I did there on the nose, you can go in and keep like finessing it and making it darker or lighter, right? So there's no mistakes in makeup. The worst thing that you would have to do is just take it off. So be fearless when you do this. The next thing that I'm doing here is I'm focusing in on creating even more lines like around the lips. So I drew in some lines like if you were to pucker your lips in that. I'm also sagging out my eyes as well. So you can see I've drawn in some darker lines there because I really want to sort of sag out that eye socket line. And I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty blender, and I'm going to finesse that just a little bit more because I wasn't satisfied with the way that it was looking, so I wanted to like warm tone it up. I also took my highlight color and put it on my eyebrows to give them white hair. You could do this with like the character white that comes in your Ben Nye kit as well. I also brushed my eyebrow hair down so it like flattens out my eyebrows just a bit and kind of sinks them in. And then I'm adding just a little bit more shadow in places to sort of finesse this look, just because the lighting is so upward and harsh here in my living room that I want to make sure that I'm getting some really sunken in spots, especially on those cheeks and in those eyes. One of the last things that I'm doing as well is going through the neck and making sure that those jowls are deeper, and finally just putting in some finessing spots around all of these features that I've created and just continuing on with these lines. So for my feature today, I have glasses and a scarf that I'm going to add to this look. So here we go. Let's take a look at that. Oh, look at Grandma Brittany. Isn't she adorable? Well, everyone, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and remember to stay tuned for these outtakes that are coming up. So enjoy. Why is this so hard? Blah. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, nor can I spend more than a day with them. Cannot believe they allow me to teach. Yep.
Brittany, boldly.